You got a song up for Grammy consideration, which is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Being a part of the Recording Academy, what are some of the big takeaways or lessons that you feel like you've learned?
It's like easier than you think.
Okay.
I think as long as you're actively working. I went to the Grammys 2 years ago, and there's just a couple of speeches in that room that doesn't make it to the televised broadcast that were so inspiring. It was like an in-studio thing at the Village with Jack Antonoff, who is the producer of like Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter, and he has his own band, Bleachers.
All right, let's talk about NextFest.
Okay.
First of all, for those who might not know, NextFest is an amazing festival. It takes place at the LA County Fair.
We produce 6 stages of programming 3 days a week for the entire month of May. We book 350 plus performers and DJs for it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot, but it's great.
Such a good time.
So fun.
Really cool. And like I said, artists get paid. And it's like an actual wage where you can like, you can pay a band, you can actually, you know what I mean? Like, and that can be rare in LA. And a paid gig that actually, pays a decent amount, and NextFest was that. And you do a lot of curation. What kind of things would you say would be do's and don'ts for artists looking to play some of those other things too that you would book?
I think this is going to be very annoying to everyone, and I'm guilty of this too. You have to
She got a song up for Grammy consideration. She also helped put together the biggest indie music festival in the country, NextFest. Brenda Carsey.
Hi.
What's going on?
What's up?
Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me, B.
Yeah, how you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Keep trying to keep it going, stay inspired.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, you got a song up for Grammy consideration, which is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so talk about that process of getting a song up for Grammy consideration.
Oh my gosh. There's multiple ways to do it.
Okay.
And for the sake of just tearing apart the industry more and more, it's not as hard as you think.
Okay.
And I don't say that to not credit myself, for how hard it is. But I feel like I was just talking to a friend of mine, Mary, literally yesterday about how both of us thought it was an unreachable, untouchable thing for my whole time living in Los Angeles. And it was always something I wanted to do. And then I just started researching the things that you have to have going for yourself. Either you're with a label or with a professional, and someone can submit you for you, even if you're not part of the Grammy thing or the Recording Academy. Or if you want to submit yourself, then you just have to be a voting Recording Academy member, which I am. And to get that, you just have to have a certain amount of credit, publicly, commercially released credits on different works, and have people who are in the Recording Academy advocate for your professional work in the industry.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
And then 3 years ago, I did that, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. That was literally it.
Okay.
So I submitted myself.
All right.
And then you get listened to. There's tons of different committees that are specific to genres that listen to works and make sure it's placed correctly in correct categories and genres and subgenres. And then it's just peers. It's a peer-based thing that happens, which I think is kind of cool.
Nice.
And then there's just one more, the semifinalists, and then the people who win. So it's really fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's go back to the Recording Academy and signing up to be a member. So you said about 3 years ago you did that.
It was 4 years. I've been in the Recording Academy for 3 years. So 4 years ago, I researched and was like, oh, okay, these are the steps that you have to do, which I didn't know.
Okay.
I thought I was I don't know. I thought you had to be invited only, or I don't know. And again, you just have to have 2 or more people who are already Recording Academy members advocate that you are indeed a full-time musician or professional musician who's commercially has released works. You have to have a certain amount of credits to your name to qualify, and you submit a whole thing with your credits, all this stuff, and then they review you and let you know if you're accepted or not. Okay. And I'm very lucky. I just applied once and then was part of the family.
Awesome. No, and like I wanted to kind of ask about that and highlight that because I feel like a lot of artists probably feel like this is some unattainable thing.
Totally.
And so I wanted to kind of put a spotlight on that and say, no, it's not unattainable.
Not unattainable.
It is possible.
It's totally possible.
Do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's completely possible. And I will say too, and I don't say this to put anything or anyone down, but it is a little political, like a lot of things.
Right.
It is a numbers game. It is like a campaigning game, and there's a lot of rules to how you're allowed to spread the word about yourself and your thing. Or if you have other people advocating for you, there are like rules that you have to follow, or they can like remove your stuff or like flag you for like inappropriately promoting yourself without permissions and all this stuff. So there are like rules.
Okay.
But as far as becoming part of it and being able to have something for consideration, it's like easier than you think.
Okay.
I think as long as you're actively working, you're like working hard. It's not like your first single of all time.
Right.
You wouldn't be ready at that point.
Got it.
But yeah.
So if you've been doing it for a bit, you've got some
releases
under your belt.
Have
have some, and you know some people that would advocate for you that are also in it, would say, oh yeah, he or she is about their business and they do this.
Yep.
They're about that life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's totally it.
All right. So then let's go to, actually putting up a song is Go Do Something About It is the song that you have
Go
up for
listen
Grammy.
to it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, check it out. I love the video too, by the way. But the song itself, so was it you picking and deciding what song you wanted to put out there to see if it would get up for Grammy consideration?
This time it was.
Okay.
So technically there's different types of membership in the Academy.
Okay.
So there are a lot of members who are not voting members. But if you're a member, you can submit something on, let's say, another artist's behalf.
Okay.
Even I could, because I'm a member. Like if I was like so and so's thing should win a Grammy, I could submit someone else's work for consideration.
Got it.
And it would go through their committee process and their listing process and their categorization and assignment and all this stuff. And then you'd be told like, you got it, and here's your numbers, and here's all your all the details and all the stuff.
Yeah.
So someone else could do that for you without you being in the Academy, which I actually think happens a lot.
Okay.
And then for people like myself who have no label, who have no, 100% independent, there aren't those other professional people who could submit that on my behalf.
Right.
Necessarily. So I was like, well, I'll do it myself then.
Okay. Cool. How did you go about picking a song?
Picking that.
Yeah.
It has to be between a certain release date.
Okay.
To be considered.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Yeah.
So it was in that time period. Just as a counterpoint, the first time I submitted for consideration was Cognizance, that album.
Yeah, yeah.
And I released, it's just such a huge album that I ended up submitting a couple of different songs from the album in different categories, and then the album as a whole and all this stuff. But again, learning a little bit more about it because it's my third year, I thought it would be more successful to because I have 2 songs that I've released in the time period, but I decided to focus on one that I thought was the strongest, that had maybe a little higher streams or more people had known about it and stuff like that. So just considering everything, I thought it would be the best fit to represent my works for that submission period. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
And just let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, I think it's super important to put things out there and try, because you never know what could happen. You're not going to win a Grammy if you don't submit. You know what I'm saying? You know that. So you might as well.
And I'm just trying to get nominated. I don't even need to win. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. No, that would be amazing.
That's the next step.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Any nod, I think, is a win. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's awesome. So yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk about the video real quick.
Okay.
Since I mentioned that earlier,
Yeah.
what kind of went into? There was a lot of cool shots in there.
Yeah.
You spinning, and the silhouette shot was really cool.
Thank
and then so anyway, so what kind of went into that video?
So Jacob McCaslin and I worked together. I came at him with an idea that I had. I found him because he's worked with an artist named Willow Stevens, who has been on this show, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And I just always really appreciated his work. We had a couple digital video meetings and then one in-person meeting, and we just get each other because you kind of have to do a little interview, can we work together Right. But we definitely had, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this word, but we definitely had synergy.
Okay. Okay.
And we definitely, I don't know, I feel like he just got me. He really got the ideas that I was going for. We were both really comfortable saying like no to each other, which I think is really important, and not being offended and just kind of rolling with it. But the original thing that started the entire pitch was, I was like, I just see me pulling string out of the camera, which isn't a camera, it's a person. It's supposed to be the viewer. It's like I'm unraveling them. That was the first thing. I saw that very clearly in my head. And then we kind of just built off of there. I mentioned the dunce cap idea to him. And I was like, I don't know if that's lame or not cool. And he was like, no. He was all about the dunce cap. So I made that dunce cap, that dramatically tall dunce cap. I made that myself with things from Michael's, very DIY. And the lighting idea, like the spotlight and like how he panned and zoomed, that was all Jacob. The idea of me being like in a corner and looking like really small with like a dunce cap was my idea. So it just merged together. You know what I mean? And then like the pink fabric-y part. For people who watch it, those are supposed to be the folds of the brain. So it's like your conscious or me or however you want to interpret it is actually walking through, the inner workings of your brain, which very much just coincide with the lyrics of everything that's happening. That's why each verse has its own vibe and thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
We had a lot of fun. And we shot it all in one day.
Oh, dope.
It was bonkers.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, go check it out. I want to go back to the Recording Academy, and as a part of that process, or as a part of being a part of the Recording Academy, I think I remember I saw on Instagram you and like Ryan Casada were at the Recording Academy,
so random,
doing Recording Academy things. Like, how was that day in particular?
That day was actually really cool. We got invited to I forget what the name of the event was, but it was Jack Antonoff. It was like an in-studio thing at the Village with Jack Antonoff, who is the producer of like Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter, and he has his own band Bleachers and all this other stuff. So it was like mostly like a Q&A. They opened it up to us, but he brought in some analog gear that he regularly uses and just talked about his perspective of the industry, of like trying to experiment and like find a way to create he was saying there's almost no way to create a new sound because everything's been done, so to speak. But like putting it together in new ways, or like messing with analog equipment to like see if you can get something out of it that would be unexpected or different. Or taking like a standard 808 like beat machine and running it through like a tape and then like playing it backwards and doing all this stuff. So he actually did like a demo live. And there's different wings in the Recording Academy based on your credits. You can be invited to be part of different wings. So that was for the producers and engineers wing specifically. So it's just an invite, and then you just have to RSVP really fast because it's like limited space. Yeah. Awesome. But it was really cool.
Dope.
Yeah, he was a cool, interesting person.
Cool. Has there, in your 3 or 4 years in the Recording Academy, have there been other things like that, other cool people that you've gotten to meet, people that you look up to in the music industry?
There's there's been mixers and discussions about AI's effect on the industry, which I don't know if that was an enjoyable discussion. It's an infuriating subject matter for myself at least. Some people are very into it, but they definitely have like a handful of just like mixer events or events where they have like panels of different speakers from like lawyers, not always like high name, high bill, but like different roles in the industry, which I actually think is really cool. Like a manager and like a lawyer and like a producer and like a songwriter, like a top liner, different roles, different jobs. And most of them, they have like little snacky parts and little drinky parts. Like time to just break out and like meet people. So I think it's just a great way to get the community of professionals into a room together. You know what I mean? Which is cool, like trying to get community and all the avenues from the top to the bottom to like get off their butts and off their screens and like into the real world to spend time with each other. I think is important.
Absolutely. Super important. Definitely want to talk more about community because you do a lot of community building in the LA scene. So I definitely want to talk more about that a little later on. were there any big lessons, I guess, that you've taken away from some of these like panels and some of these things, like, or I guess just as being a part of the Recording Academy, what are some of the big takeaways or lessons that you feel like you've learned?
Okay. I would say number one, it's not unattainable. That was my biggest lesson. You can do it. Don't be afraid. Always try. Ask questions. You never know. That's number one.
Yep.
Number two is there's no rules to anything. The industry is like, I don't want to say non-existent, but it's just very different. I think most of us know that, but the landscape is different. So there's no rules. Like you can do you a million different ways. I think just staying true to yourself and your sound and your brand and whatever it is that you're focusing on is still really incredibly important and the most powerful. And you can always like find avenues and people and communities that get what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, it just takes time.
Yeah.
Patience perhaps is another
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah.
Be nice. Because you never know who knows people and what people know, myself included.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be a nice person, be professional. You don't got to be fake, but you know what I mean? Like that's important.
Yeah.
But honestly, nothing that's been like overly earth-shattering, like unless, I mean, there's different, I'm not trying to be like a specifically pop star. I'm sure it'd be different if I was going for a different.
Sure.
Yeah, but because of the world of music that I spin in, and I love people who experiment and push buttons and stuff, I'm like, there's no rules. And being at like I went to the Grammys 2 years ago and found out that there's like a whole other ceremony that takes place before the televised one, for example, that every award, there's over 93 awards given out. And the televised one shows 15 of those.
Right.
So there's all these other awards, but all this other music and I found that so inspiring to be like, you know, spoken word and like global music and like jazz and classical and like Latin and like flamenco and like video game music and just all this other music is being awarded and recognized and all this stuff. So it's not just the little bit you see on main, you know, televised parts of the industry. There you can succeed in so many different areas of expression with music. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
How was going to the Grammys a couple years ago? Yeah. I had the opportunity to go several years ago. It's been several years now.
Did you go?
I used to work in radio, and somehow somebody that I worked with had tickets. They gave them to me because they couldn't go.
What would you think?
And no, it was amazing. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And actually my dad happened to be in town. So that's actually and you know, I picked up a lot of my, you know, music, my love for music from him.
Yeah.
And so he was able to go, and as you know, he's since passed. And so that's like one of the like really dope memories that I have,
that's
you know,
amazing.
with him, like going to the Grammy.
Wait, who was like someone who won that year? What year was this?
Oh, you know what? I don't even remember I don't remember what year it was.
Do you remember a performer though, or a performance from the main show that? Like, this guy was just outside drinking the whole time. He wasn't even watching the show.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you though. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I just honestly remember going with my dad. You know what I mean? And it was a cool experience. And I remember him enjoying it. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like that's cool. What I like remember from it.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go last year, but it sold out in like a second. And last year was a huge year for music because it was like Deutsche and like Chapel Roan and like just it was just a lot. It was just huge.
Yeah.
But the year that I went a couple years ago, it was my honest to goodness most favorite part of it was the non-televised, which is now being live streamed, by the way. That non-televised portion for all of the Recording Academy's history was never shared anywhere, and last year was the first time that they live streamed it. Wow, that's a huge deal.
Super cool.
But I had the most fun at that part. It was just like it's a different auditorium, it's a different on the same property, but a whole different thing. And there's no seat. You sit wherever you want, you go wherever you want, and the room is just filled with only your peers. You know, everyone who voted for you or for one another.
Yeah.
And I just really loved. I just love that camaraderie vibe feeling. Killer Mike had like such a good speech. He won, I forget, like 5-6 awards that year. I don't remember, but there's just a couple of speeches in that room that doesn't make it to the televised broadcast that were so inspiring about like keeping going. Like you can like put whatever messaging and like whatever like moves your heart into your music, and like there will be people who support you and all that kind of stuff. So, and he definitely stood out for me that night. And then it was the real Grammy thing was, it was an amazing production, like a huge production, great performers. Like I have friends who do vocal contracting and like instrumentalists and stuff like that were playing in like the house band, and I was like, oh dang. Joni Mitchell did her performance, so that was insane to see. Like Tracy Chapman like randomly showed up. It was great. It was really, really great.
Awesome.
I'm really glad I went. But it was also a complete torrential downpour. And we were all, that year it was miserable. We were all miserable. Going between buildings, everyone had trash bags over their dresses and stuff. It was a mess, but it's like fun otherwise.
Yeah. Awesome. No, that's super cool that you got to experience that and like, and hear all the speeches. I can only imagine like how, well, I mean, I've seen some of it too, but yeah, it's very inspirational for sure.
Like some people have been submitting like 10, 20 years and it's like their first win.
Yeah.
But they just like kept going. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just very inspiring for a bunch of different reasons. Yeah.
You know, that is inspiring. And I mean, you were talking about, earlier, just like, to keep going and about like finding the people who your music is for. I feel like a lot of times we get discouraged early on because maybe our friends and family and the people in our direct sphere are not responding to our music the way we would hope or would like. Yeah. But every song is not for everybody. Yeah. Yes. And so like the faster you realize that every song's not for everybody and that your job as an artist is to try to get the music out to the people who it is for, and who will resonate and respond to it.
Yeah, and it just takes time. Yeah. It takes time, to do anything.
Yes.
And to do it right, it takes time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I like to say that, building a music career is you're building a house and you do it one brick at a time, one, piece of tile at a time, one faucet light fixture at a time. And so it's, people I think that they're gonna snap their fingers and come to, LA or New York, snap their fingers, and then they're gonna have this amazing career. They're gonna go viral or whatever. Yeah, which is great.
And some of them do,
and it happens.
Some of them do.
Yeah, and it happens. But the chances are that it's not going to be that way. Yes, and most likely it's gonna be, a brick at a time. Yes, and I feel like thinking about it that way, I feel like it allows you to, or it causes you to focus more on building your foundation correctly. And I feel like you take more.
I'm going to say 100% yes. Okay. But I think what's changed so much, I'm not trying to like make either of us sound really old, but what's changed so much in a certain number of years is that social media is just it just took over everything. Sure. And I started before everyone was using social media. So I wouldn't even say I was building a house. I would say I more had like a stick with a bag on it. And I was just like walking around being like, where should I go? Yeah. Who should I, like, I had zero idea. And I definitely come from the generation where it was like no one knows anything about the music industry at all. It was like you were either poor and spanging and like playing music on the streets, or you were like Mariah Carey, and that was it. There was no in between. Nobody knew about anything in between. And then as I started participating in the industry more, I was like, wait a minute, there's like 50,000 stops between that and that. There's so many different lives that you can live, and so many different levels you can live. So you know what I mean? So that is when, because that wasn't taught to me, and I very much like came up from the ground up and figured all this out very slowly over time. It definitely takes longer, but I'm grateful for that journey. And because of it, I'm like, I know more at an age where I feel like I can make I can make better decisions or more sound decisions with a little bit of boundary, and hopefully be less taken advantage of, or treated in such a way that might not be great. Like a lot of young people go through that, get thrown into the beast. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, it's all a learning experience. You live and you learn. And And I think going back to the house analogy, I mean, I think you get robbed one time and then you're like, okay, I need an alarm system. You know what I'm saying? And so you add that to your house. And so you're adding all these things to your house, but it's one thing at a time. You know, it's like, I guess kind of what I was saying.
Definitely. Yeah. And it's so different. It's just so different now. It's crazy. I feel like kids are growing up like as a brand, which we did not. We did not grow up as living, understanding marketing.
Yeah.
I feel like every single person alive understands a tiny bit of marketing now, which is so weird.
True.
That's a bizarre thing.
Yeah.
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 So it's definitely, like, for me, music came first, not my identity or my look or my photos or my anything. It was just the music.
Yes.
And then one would hope you'd get, some support to be like, we'll figure all the rest out for you. But when you don't get that and you don't quit, most importantly, if you stick with it, you're like, well, I guess I'll figure it out, or I'll learn it, or I'll read about it, or I'll ask questions, or I'll show up here and like, you know what I mean? And but I find that empowering, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is a lot to learn. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to know. But yeah, no, you have, it's all in your control, and, you know, you have the ability to go out and learn these things. And, you know, this is part of the purpose of the podcast, is that, you know, then I talk to people who, like you, who've learned a lot of these things, and then, you know, other people can listen and then take that information, and hopefully, you know, it'll help them out, and then they can, you know, they can apply to the Recording Academy, and they can do some of these things, and they, you know, have a sense of like, okay, cool, that's not unattainable. I can do that, and now I kind of understand, you know, how to go about it, and then I can also do a little research myself, and make it happen. You know, and so that's part of the goal of this too.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. All right, let's talk about NextFest.
Okay.
You had a big hand in that this year, and first of all, for those who might not know, NextFest is an amazing festival. It takes place at the LA County Fair, and at the LA County Fair, a lot of different independent artists perform, and different bands and things like that. And it's super cool. It's a lot of fun. Everybody who participates, whether it be people who play or people who come and watch. I had the opportunity to play last couple years. It was amazing. Everybody in my band had a great time because it's, you know, you're at the fair, you can go, you know, ride rides and then come back and play. And, you know, there's some built-in audience, and then you have your friends and family come too, and that they can all ride rides. So it's a great time. Artists get paid, and it's awesome. It's a really awesome thing. So how did you, first of all, get involved with NextFest?
Am I allowed to use names, or should I just be vague?
You can
I wasn't sure what would be appropriate. How long ago was that now? I guess 3 years ago.
Something like that.
Well, we were a part of a little thing that was a bunch of caring independent curators in Los Angeles that do events, and we were just coming together to have discussions about ethical booking practices, predatory bookers, and just things of that nature. And there was talk of us turning it into like a larger entity and a nonprofit and all these things. But I think it kind of like, I for me, it served a good purpose of discourse. And I got a lot out of it for that reason. And I think it's okay. It's not something bigger than that. But anyway, but I met the NextFest festival producer at that because of Jessica Gerhardt, who had invited the festival producer to come to some of these discourses. And I just like really hit it off with them. And out of just the one that we met at, everyone in the room, we were the two with the most experience in regards to years of being a curator and an event producer and working in nightlife. So it might have been a little bit just like, I was like, are we like the old people here? What's going on? Or just like, we started doing it young, both of us. And then when we were walking out, you know, we were parked the same direction we were walking. And I just was like, you know, I do bigger stuff, and I'm happy to send you my resume if you ever need help down the line on like something you're working on. And he was like, sure, send me your resume. And so I just like, you know, freshened it up a little bit and then sent it off. And then like a couple months later, he was like, hey, do you want to hop on this thing we're doing, which was at the time their second year.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So it's still, or no. Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Oh my gosh, now I forget.
All good.
Yeah, I believe it was their third year. I think it was their second year or third year. One of those. It was new. It was new.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, relatively new.
Yeah, and it went great. That first year of me participating in it, I had like a slightly different title. It was an insane amount of work, but I really had a good time, and I enjoyed the team and just everything you described about it. I had never been to the LA County Fair in my life. I'm born and raised here. Wow. Never in my life, or when I was like a baby, like once when I was a baby.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my gosh, I get it. I totally get festival culture. Yeah. I get the traveling carny vibe now. I'm like all about it. Yeah. There's animals, there's culture, there's art, there's rides, there's like plants, there's educational seminars and libraries and like malls in all these gigantic indoor buildings. Like it's everything. It's everything you could possibly imagine. And then on top of it all, we produce 6 stages of programming 3 days a week for the entire month of May. It's insane. Yeah. It's an insane
Live
thing.
Music.
It's an insane thing that the event producer thought of. That he was like, we should do that. I'm like, that's a crazy idea.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing idea. And he is just such a kind, generous, passionate person who truly loves music. Yes. And he loves all kind of music. And I really relate to him on that. The desire to uplift other artists, the desire to give a voice to people who are having trouble finding a voice, the understanding that when you help other people out doesn't mean it's taken away from your success, like just all that stuff. Like the event producer of NextFest gets all of that, and I really admire that about him. And so I was like, I'm happy to come back if you'll have me, if I did a good enough job. They had me back at like a higher title, lack of a better word, for this past year. I love the work, I'm good at it. Yeah, awesome. I'm good at it. I like it. Yeah. But yeah, we book 350 plus performers and DJs for it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot, but it's great. Yeah. Yeah.
Insane. What was your title this time?
I was a talent buyer, assistant talent buyer.
Yeah. Awesome. And it was like such a good time.
So fun.
Really cool. And like I said, artists get paid. And it's like in actual ways where you can like, you can pay a band, you can actually, you know what I mean? Like, and that can be rare in LA. A paid gig that actually, pays a decent amount, and NextFest was that.
Yes. And I will say the event producers' perspective on that and how they're able to, I hope they don't mind me sharing this. I think this is okay for people to know, is that people have to remember that art, like throw all of the commercialism and the capitalism and the transactionalism, throw all that out the window. Like what you do matters. Art is culture, and culture is worth investing in. Music is culture. Music is worth investing in. So by bringing, we're very, very careful about bringing a hugely diverse lineup of musicians throughout the month, from everything from like reggae to like traditional like Latin music, like and banda and like salsa to like hip hop to like pop and country, and like we make sure that we are booking everything at some point in time, to make sure that we're representing just like the diverse ecosystem of Los Angeles, because it's an LA County Fair.
Everything is here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's great. It's great.
You mentioned that genre is part of what goes into picking the artist and making sure that you have a diverse talent pool. What else goes into, booking the artist? What else are you looking for, thinking about when you're thinking about who to reach out to invite them to come play?
I think that I would say we both have different ways of going about it. I mean, it's so annoying. We do look at numbers stuff. We do look at followership, and not just like followers, but like engagement from followers and just like general vibes of that, like whatever. It's kind of BS-y, but just it's a thing. Sure. For me, the most important thing that I look for is a really good live performance video. For me, like, because we're booking for live music.
Yes.
If I was booking you for like a studio session, it'd be I'd be like, how do they sound recorded?
Yes.
Right. But for this, for me, if you don't have like good sound quality, like live recording of you performing what you're soliciting. So if it's you solo, if it's you the band, if it's you, whatever it is that you want to be heard.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for first, because you could have the best sounding track single with like 5 million streams and like 0 live, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yes.
I can't take a gamble on that or invest in something if I have no idea
Right.
like what it is, you know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, that's like the most important thing to me is that like, the ability to see you live online ahead of time.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, that's a really great point. Because you'll get people submitting their Spotify tracks or whatever, which, I don't know how much auto-tune was used. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, definitely when you're submitting to something, submit a video that fits the vibe of that thing, whether it's a full band show or whether it's more of an acoustic performance. If you have an acoustic live video for that, whatever fits the vibe of the thing that you're trying to.
And we're booking people who perform to backing tracks, who do acoustic, who do band. Like, it's not a discrimination thing at all. Like, we're super open to all sorts of different setups. It's more just like the ability to be like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And maybe like, and the event producer is really awesome with giving people with low followership, low streams, whatever, that they think are really like, that they see something special, and he'll be like, let's book them, but like, we'll give you like an earlier slot, like, let's give them a chance, like, let's see what's up. So it's definitely not just numbers. It's not like you need to have like, a $10,000 thing. Like, it doesn't need to be that good, just so that people don't get scared. Like, it doesn't need to be that professional, that fancy, whatever. Just accurate.
Yes.
Just somewhat accurate.
Yeah, let me just see what it is you do.
Yeah.
Just get a good representation.
Like, are you shy and you stare at your feet the whole time, or are you like out there entertaining the peoples? Because like, that doesn't mean we won't book you, but different time slots. We have to consider everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. What else? And you do a lot of curation from, Monday here in LA to booking porch sessions, which is a monthly concert series that you do. What kind of things, in addition to what you just mentioned, and maybe it's the same, maybe there's some different things too, what kind of things would you say would be do's and don'ts for artists looking to play some of those other things too that you would book? To
play like a more independent curators stuff?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be very annoying to everyone, and I'm guilty of this too. You have to go. You have to go. That is the number one. There is nothing else. And as someone who's exhausted, and I'm like, I'm not going out right now. And it's like, it's a season. Like, sometimes we have seasons of energy, and sometimes we have seasons where we need to hibernate, and you don't need to feel bad or judge yourself about what season you're in at all. But don't take it personally if you don't hear back from people who have never met you and don't know anything about you. So a lot of independent curators, they're smaller events, smaller amount of artists they can book, smaller amount of like people can be involved, so they're just a little more picky, or they'll book people that come to mind because they've met them or they know them, or I think just go. IRL stuff matters forever, no matter what happens to the world. So that's number one. Is go. Number two, in your solicitation, don't be vague. Don't be vague and act like don't like hit someone up and not have done any like research. Like, you could find something out with like 60 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, know something. I've been emailed about things that I don't do anymore, like recently, and I'm like, so you didn't do a tiny bit of research to see that doesn't exist anymore. So now I'm not going to include you in any of the new stuff we're doing, because that's, to me, disrespectful. That's just me though.
So basically, somebody's hit you up recently to play like Highland Park Bowl or something.
Or to be like, hey, like, your open mic's awesome. I'd love to be a featured artist or something. Like, even now, and I'm like, girl, you are 2 years behind. That event, no, R.I.P.
Yes, which it was a great event.
It was a great event.
It was so cool.
I do miss it. I do sometimes.
So anyway, all right, number two.
So IRL. Minimal research. Don't go crazy. Just
know something about what
know the name of the event that you're, and like the vibe of the event. Like, if you're like a 5-piece metal band. Don't hit up an acoustic curator just because they're booking a dope venue.
Yes.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Know the vibe.
Yes. Yeah. Know the vibe, basic info. Short, concise emails is another thing. Know how to use hyperlinks. You don't need to be posting like literally link in an email. These days. It's just, the technology's existed for too long. Yeah. So just make it, neat, short, sweet, and make an EPK.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, oh my gosh, you should research it. I'm not going to tell you. Just a tiny bit of effort goes a long way, but make an EPK. You can make like a PDF version and like link everything that's still openable, or you can build if you have a website, you can build it into your own website, make like a special tab for it, which is what I've done.
Yeah. I have like a Google Drive folder, basically.
Yeah.
It's like
that could work too.
The EPK, so it has all the bio, the press pics, and songs, videos, whatever.
Yeah, that can work too. I think that is more, in my opinion, that version is actually more of like an asset folder than an EPK. The point of an EPK is it's almost like a one sheet for your business.
Sure.
So like having a layout and like a visual aesthetic and having all that, so that someone can go and just get a quick like flavor is like important. Gotcha. And then like the Google Drive thing, I think is great to have ready so that when you do get bookings and stuff, you're like, all of my assets are here. Right. So he's just like already ahead of us right now.
Yeah. So I think the main thing is having all those things somewhere that you can easily like send them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and if you work with a curator who is like asking, I need this, and this, and you don't have that, that's okay. Now's your chance to level up and like be like, oh, I'm noticing a lot of people ask for this. Because the amount of times I like booking a lot of really young, novice, like new local people. I feel like that's my bread and butter. Is I like doing that. I haven't overly grown my curating company. I could have like scaled up times a gajillion by now, but it's just not my mission. But yeah, the amount of times I've had someone be like, I don't have a bio. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't ask you if you had one. I said you need to deliver one, so figure it out. Yeah. So either you write it for yourself or ask a friend to do it for you if you're nervous and you don't want to write about yourself. I'm sure people would be happy to support you and do that. Yeah. Just an opportunity to like be like, oh, okay, good, I should have that. And just like coming at it with that abundant mindset. Instead of like I don't have that, be like, oh, cool, I should make that.
I should get that.
Yeah.
No, that's a great point too. There comes times where we don't have things, and and especially if you're hearing it from a few different places, then it's a great opportunity to say, oh, okay, cool, I need to get that done. Yeah. And then that's how you go through life. They're part of the bricks that you have to build the house. And so you. A lot of times you don't learn what the bricks are until you start building. Yes. And
same. Yeah. Same.
And so you're like, oh, okay, cool. I need to get this. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes. And then you apply to some other things, or you try to do some other thing, and you're like, oh, I need this too. Okay, cool. And then that's how you kind of start to build things. And then the next time somebody asks for it, then you have the things that you need.
Yep. Yeah. That's it.
Cool. Any other advice that comes to mind for people who may be looking to book some shows? Or
don't be offended if they don't book you.
Yeah.
I think that's a hard lesson to learn because it's very personal. Because it's your art.
Yes.
But just don't be offended. Like, don't hit them up once. Also, like the amount of emails that we all get and things, like be kind. Allow like time for response before you harass people. Like, even though it's annoying and you're like, like, why can't they just get back to me? Just like check in a week, like, hey, like,
respectful persistence.
Respectful persistence with a little distance, and like if you really, really want it, I still think 3 strikes is like the motto. Okay, there's something about the try. But yeah, like if you check in, like, first solicitation and then a check-in and like, don't, at that point, in my opinion, you're no longer respecting yourself. Because if you really love yourself and believe in what you do and they're not getting back to you, they're either like not organized, in which case, why would you work with that person? or they're not into what you do, in which case, why would you work with that person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, too, I kind of switched up how I, used to think about it, because there used to be times where I would not get booked for something. I'd be like, oh man, like, and it would be like kind of either woe is me, or, oh, this person is, must be this, or this person must not, whatever, like,
and
they must be racist, or they might, you know what I mean? Stuff like that,
right.
which doesn't, serve any, purpose to like assume something like that about somebody that you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? And so now I look at it as more of an opportunity for me to level up, because, okay, maybe let's keep working, keep trying. Maybe I'm not like, something like, Monday Monday, for example. I feel like there was a point in time where I was applying for Monday Monday, but like in hindsight, I wasn't ready to play it. You know what I'm saying? And so now, okay, so then you work on it. And then I do feel like when things are supposed to happen, they happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's actually a good thing to bring up, is that a lot of times I think, especially with smaller events or smaller curators where people are like, oh, that's like a tiny thing. You have to remember that some people are like me, where we're choosing for it to be tiny. That doesn't mean that we're not booking the best talent that we can book just because it's small. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that that's fair. And I also think like maintaining a reputation of having high quality talent at all times is like good for everyone, actually.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think the whole like you are ready to play a certain room is totally true, and I relate to that. I remember going through that feeling and experience too.
Yeah.
I also remember taking things incredibly personally.
Yeah.
All the time, and I hope I don't get in trouble. I'm about to quote someone, but okay, because this person is like, I'm prefacing it by saying that this person, we're all imperfect people. We all have skeletons, but these two quotes I think are very related to what we're talking about, and they have like been beneficial to me. They're both by RuPaul, and one of them is, your inner saboteur is always going to be there and try to get you down, but it's not you, right? So you have to learn, like, it's your roommate. You live with your saboteur, but you're in charge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's number one. And then, oh no, the second one, of course, I forgot. If it comes back, it'll pop into my head. My whole preface like distracted me.
Yeah.
But that one's like a really helpful one, I think. Oh, and the second one is what, I don't know if I'll say this exactly correct, but it's what other people have to say about me is none of my business. And I'm like, ooh.
Yes.
That's a hard lesson.
Yes.
That's a very hard lesson.
Yeah. Something that I've kind of been on too lately is not worrying about what people have to say that don't necessarily understand what I'm trying to do, like, or don't understand like the music business or the music industry. It's like even somebody like my mother. I love my mother. You know what I mean? I know she means the best when she says certain things or whatever, but she's never been a musician. She's not a musician. She does, so it's like certain things I take with a grain of salt, because I know that my mom doesn't really know about the music industry. I'm speaking hypothetically.
Oh, yes.
Now, not that I love you, Mom.
Yes.
Not that she's like saying stuff that I'm ignoring a bunch, but what I'm saying is, it's like, if she were giving me a bunch of music advice, I'm in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not necessarily going to listen to that, because she's never been a musician. And as much as I love my mother, and it can be difficult, because we love our family, we love our close friends, we love, certain people. Yes, but if they don't get what I'm doing, if they haven't been there, if they're not where I'm trying to go, if it's not somebody I'm like looking up to, like, why would I listen to them? Because a lot of people have things to say. That's point number one about what you're saying. And then number two, our inner saboteur, like, we can do it to ourselves a lot of times too. We can be our own worst enemy.
Oh yeah.
But that negative, thinking negatively doesn't serve us.
No. It's inevitable, but as an artist, it's going to happen. But as long as you can go in the hole. That's what I say. You can go in the hole, but you got to make sure you get back out.
Yes.
And if you can't get out, you need to ask for help and have someone help pull you out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You so I wanted to talk to you briefly too, because you were on, one of the first episodes of the previous iteration of this podcast, which I appreciate you for, and I appreciate you coming back.
Yeah.
and doing this. One thing we talked about is, you've put on, many successful shows, and, a lot of them are packed out, and, so talk about what goes into, putting on a successful show.
Yeah, I haven't done one in a while, so I feel like I'm like longing and craving for it, but I'm also just, I'm going through a season of pause and reflection at the moment. So I'm just trying to ride that out and not judge myself. And just be present with that. But yeah, I think generally speaking, I remember our conversations from last time, but I definitely think not oversaturating your market, so to speak. And what I mean by that is you're not playing every week like a show that you're responsible for draw, and then wonder why people aren't there.
Right.
So if you want to do a bigger show, you have to kind of like withhold yourself and make yourself a little precious. I think having something to celebrate is always a great tool to use, whether that's a release or a birthday or whatever you can dream of. And then I think just a lot of active effort.
Yes.
And when I say active effort, I do not mean just posting on the internet.
Let's go.
I mean email lists. I mean, if you're on Bands in Town, if you're not on Bands in Town, get on Bands in Town. I think, and you can sponsor me if you want Bands in Town. And what else? Like directly texting people. If you are not at a fan base level yet, that's all good. Be willing to ask for help from the people in your life. Say, I need you there for this one. I know you've seen me play before. I don't care. Like, I desperately need your help. And be honest. You're like, I want this venue to be like, give me a shot,
Yes.
So yeah, ask people to help you turn up and show up.
Yes.
So that kind of stuff. I also share that it's often a lot of math. I'm always like really blown away by how many people I book who think that they have tried. And I'm like, so if your draw is 20 people, how many people did you just hit up 20 people?
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to get 20 people there.
Right.
Like, I'm like, at minimum, you should double that.
Yes.
At minimum, you should be directly emotionally contacting at least 40 people. Minimum. Because half of them aren't going to come.
Yes.
For a myriad of reasons.
Yes.
Life is hard. Life is weird.
Yeah, totally a numbers game. I love that you said that, because that's definitely something that I think about. If I'm trying to get 25 people somewhere, I'm hitting up 100 people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like personally. Yeah. Because I feel like, at least what I've seen, like that 4-to-1 is a pretty good indication. Like I'll get 25 people there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like for me, at least.
Totally. I'm like, you're playing a lot though.
Yeah.
You're currently playing a lot.
No, I think what I try to do is, and you mentioned oversaturating, but I think what I try to do is like, I play a lot to keep my skills up in a sense, but usually it's like half band or solo or just me, and then like the full band is like that's an experience. That's a big thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing I'm promoting. I'm hitting people up. Not that I don't promote other things, but I'm saying like that's the thing that I'm like, let's get like a bunch of people, when I'm doing the full band, to try to not, like you said, not oversaturate. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't want to necessarily be hitting, people up every week and be like, hey, come see me. Because then, like you said, it's like people have shit to do. Like they're not, But every few months, if I'm hitting people up to, like come check me out at this thing or whatever, make it a special thing. Hey, it's the birthday. It's the I'm doing this big release. And I love how you said, because sometimes there is a situation where it's like, hey, I really want the venue to see that I can bring people, or I really need to move this many tickets or whatever. So and I will definitely say that in text and personal text is a big thing for me, at least. Now I've seen, people do the party fools, and that's great if that works for you to get people out. But I tend to see way more success if I personally text people and say, hey, I'm doing this. I would really like to see you there, and if it's like, if we're playing a show together and, it's a mutual person that we both know. I'm like, hey, me and Brenda got this thing coming, you know what I'm saying? And so then it's like, I feel like that's more of a reason for that person to come out, because they know more people that are gonna be there.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So
yeah.
No, I love like all those things that you said, and I wanted to kind of bring that back from the previous conversation we had, because I feel like it's very important for artists, to not rely on Instagram to get people out, because I've heard people say, man, nobody came to my show, and I'm like, well, who'd you invite? Well, I posted on Instagram a bunch of time, like that doesn't
not anymore.
It doesn't not really anymore. Like there's so much stuff happening on social media. It's like,
and just the formulas, just the way the platforms operate are completely different. I think it did used to be visible and be seen. But it's just changed a lot.
But even though I know, like, for example, if I post an Instagram story and say, hey, I've got this show coming up, I can see who sees the story. And there's people that I know saw the story.
Right.
But they didn't buy a ticket from the story. They didn't buy a ticket. The link is there. They've seen it.
That's what I'm saying, though.
But when I hit them up in a text and say, hey, I've got this thing coming in, and then they're like, okay, cool, I'll get a ticket. So like relying on Instagram, I feel like it's not that same personal touch.
In my opinion, I think that is recent. I do think, I don't know exactly when, but like a certain like handful of years ago, there weren't ads on Instagram. And we keep forgetting that how fast all this stuff is developing and moving. So I feel like you promoting something of your own was like the ad. So they weren't overly bombarded with ads. I feel like people are so fatigued by the bombardment of ads that, myself included, I'm like, I see something and I think we're a little bit in zombie land. Which is making us all a little more apathetic and overwhelmed and over consumed. So I do think that, that's what I was saying, like personal touch, being a human being, is at the end of the day what we are and what we have. So put energy into that.
Absolutely.
I just think every single thing that we keep trying to learn that are tools like social media, like Instagram, whatever, it's just changing so fast that once you get it, once you think you have it figured out, or you think people are going to engage with you a certain way, it's just changing really quickly. So staying flexible with that, and like relying on your capacity to be a good person, hopefully, or have some friends, or maybe you have like I said, maybe you do have like a ton of real fans already, and you don't have to hit any of them up and they show up for you. That's amazing.
It's great.
Oh my gosh, please, I hope you're grateful for that if that's you. Because that is like very rare. It really is.
100%.
And I also think sometimes when we live in LA, we're just surrounded by each other. So we're just like, we're all doing all the same thing, that we forget that it's not like that everywhere else. It's not like that everywhere else across the country, everywhere else in the world. It's completely different. So if you ever feel overwhelmed and like unappreciated, like go play out of town.
No, a lot of people that do that.
And not even that far. Like it's really expensive to tour right now, so I'm not saying that you need to do that, but you could do like, just go play out of town somewhere.
Go to San Diego.
A little drive, a little get out,
Absolutely. No, I love that. I think I wanted to hit that, like I said, just because not relying on Instagram, and to know that it is possible to pull the people. It is possible to bring the people in, especially I feel like, maybe if you just moved to town, then like it's going to be difficult. But, if you've been here for a year or more, I feel like.
But still, the phrase, and y'all can take it, it's fine, is active effort. And that's, I even message people that I'm like, not effort. That's posting. That's passive effort.
Yes.
Active effort.
Yes.
Proactive effort.
Yes.
So if you're new here, that means you're going everywhere. If you've lived here forever, you're like, I already know everybody, I'm so tired, which is where I'm at. Then then you better be individually reaching out to people.
100 people, because I've had people that say to me, and they've been here for a while, they say, I can't get 25 people. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can. If you just if you put in that active effort. It's a lot of work. I'm not gonna bullshit about that. It's a lot of work. But it is possible to get the people if you. And I used to be afraid also of like hitting up certain people to come out, like coworkers, for example, because when I worked at NBC, it was like maybe I should keep that separate from this, and not, and is that unprofessional to like, but later I just kind of decided, I'm like, music, that's what I'm trying to do. That's the ultimate goal. That's why I'm here. So I need to like, I need to not worry about that. At least for me personally. I know some people may feel differently, but I started inviting the coworkers, and some of them have been some of the most supportive people. They, you know what I mean? They came out, a lot of them, you know, if I needed to, you know, sell some tickets for something, like a lot of them supported, and they came through, and they, you know, so
that's awesome.
I mean, and to this day, I did a show recently, and, you know, even though I don't work there anymore, a lot of the old coworkers came through, and they, you know, so I think a lot of times we put these, you know, things in our head. It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, and we worry about all these things that, you know, 9 times out of 10 are like just right here. It's the inner saboteur you were talking about.
Yes, darling.
100%.
I was gonna say too, like, you don't know unless you ask. That's my dad.
Yes.
That is 100%. My dad taught me that. I'm saying even for ordering a sandwich.
Yes.
Like, you don't know unless you ask. And if they say no, then the biggest is to not take that personally.
Yes.
Like, I've had people be like, don't text me about your shows. And like, does it hurt? It absolutely immediately hurts, but then I have to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Boundary. Like a little sting, little baby sting, but it heals and it passes.
And my thing is like, if this is what I do, I am a musician. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to be doing. If that person does not want to be a part of that journey, then are they really that close of a friend anyway? Like, are they really down for you like that? Like,
I think I relate to that, but I think that is teetering on saboteur.
Okay.
But I relate to that state of mind so much because I actually feel like I have lost friends over the years because of my dedication to this path. But I think it's mostly because they don't understand me. And I will say, this probably won't be for the people who are watching this podcast who are musicians trying to do this life, but or maybe I feel like all of us would benefit from asking more questions and not assuming. And what I mean by that is, like, friends who work in other fields too, that you're like, well, what does your day consist of? Like, I wish that we all did that more for each other, because I do feel like a lot of people outside of the entertainment industry misassume that you are an attention whore, right? And a lot of us are actually really introverted or really shy or really uncomfortable, and like we have troubles talking, or like, but like on stage you're like, you're like, I have permission to be seen. I have permission to take up space right now. I have permission, you know what I mean? And that I don't know if other people experience it. That's the language that resonates with me. I'm just like, I'm allowed to take up space, especially as a woman raised in a very conservative household. Like, I was not allowed to take up space. So for me, like, the stage, I'm like, you're paying me to do this. I'm allowed to be loud as shit right now and take up all the space I want. So I do. And so the misinterpretation is that you're some type of way that you may not necessarily be. It's a part of you, obviously. But I do agree with you that you're like, if someone really knows that it's not a hobby, it's like your life, your dream, your passion, your whatever. It's not that they need to come to every show, but it's them being like, I'm so proud of you for not giving up. Like those kinds of things. It's not about them physically being there. It's about them seeing how much it means to you and like supporting you where it really counts, or at least offering encouragement when you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to give up. And someone being like, don't do that. You're doing great or something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there's different ways people can support you if they don't
100%.
want to fangirl you and be at all your shows.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying like I don't think you need to be at all my shows or whatever. And I know you're not.
I'm saying that you need to be at every show.
You're not going to be able to come to everything. I know that. You're not going to support everything. You're not going to be able to do everything that I may be asking. But if you're mad that I'm even inviting you to something, like that's like, I feel like that's a different thing. I feel like you're probably not.
Also, don't be tit for tatting. Don't be tit for tatting. Like, I'll go to yours if you go to mine. No.
Yeah.
That is the most like exhaustingly, and so that has happened to me so many times where I'm not kidding you. I like have messaged someone and they're like, oh cool, like I think I can go. I have a show like 4 days later, like if you can go to that. And it's like that pause, and I'm like, okay, this is politics.
Which you can invite me, that's cool. Please invite me to your shows. Yes. But like if it's like,
Yeah, but if you would have never otherwise had texted me at all, and it's only because, and it's like immediate, and you're like, the vibe is I'm only going to go if you come to mind.
Right.
That is not support.
Right.
That is, what's the political term for that?
It's
yes.
Quid pro quo. Yes,
sir.
Exactly.
That is what that is.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. If you want to support truly, genuinely from your heart, and then if you are a good person and you like, people will show up to support you back.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And that's why I totally, try to do, just like, cause I'll pull up to like people's shows and like just, like regardless of whether they've been to mine or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I definitely do try to support. Number one, I do enjoy supporting people. I enjoy seeing live music. I consider myself to be a student of the game too, and like we learn from each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you might do something dope in a performance. I'll be like, oh, that was dope. Let me like see if I can do something. I'm not like, it's not about like jacking what you're doing, but it's like, okay, how can I maybe incorporate this element of thing, whether it's crowd participation or whether it's something else dope that somebody does, like, okay, cool. How can I, level up my own game in that area, So I feel like, there's opportunities to learn from other people too by showing up,
right?
As well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I.
Yeah.
Brenda Carsey, where can people find you?
You can find me on all the platforms we just shaded this whole time. I am at Brenda Carsey Art, and it's Carsey is Carsey. It's like Casey with an R. BrendaCarseyArt.com. Brenda Carsey Art on everything. Streaming platforms, Brenda Carsey. I am, as of this moment, on all streaming platforms still. If that changes, I will announce on my social media. I do have an email list. If you hate social media platforms, I am totally on your team. I have an old-fashioned email list if you want to be part of that. And otherwise, I'm out there. I'm out in the world.
That's what's up. Brenda Carsey, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that episode, definitely hit that like button and the bell so you get the notifications. Also, comment if there was something in particular that resonated with you. And if there's somebody who you feel like could get something out of this episode, definitely send it to them. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.